Calling to order the Buildings, Food Service, and Transportation Committee. Let the record show that present today is myself, the chair, Mr. Foisant, member, other board members present, president, not president, present. Mr. Crowders, Mr. Ford, Dr. Cloutier, and Ms. Benoit. Item number 2, the consideration of approval for the use of the Southdown Elementary School gym and Terrebonne High School baseball field. The committee recommends that the board approve the request of Thibodeau Baseball Association to waive policy file E1.6, use of school facilities, relative to the usage fees for school facilities for the Southdown Elementary School gym and the Terrebonne High School baseball field for referee training for the Louisiana High School Athletic Association on November 15th, 2025, from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. for training only, provided that the organization reimburse Terrebonne Parish School District for all related custodial costs, all necessary insurance, nonprofit status, and all other school board policy requirements are met, and the approval is obtained from the school's principal.
So moved.
By Mr. Voisin.
Yep.
Second by myself. Any public comment? Sir.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. My name's Eddie Vetta. I'm with the Thibodeau Baseball Association under the Louisiana High School Athletic Association, which falls under the Louisiana High School Officials Association. The request for assistance greatly provided by Ms. Kalen here. All the required documentation has been provided. Should be already submitted to the required personnel for your review and consideration. This is a biannual requirement in order for officials to keep their certification with the state. Again, biannual, the training will be done in 3 methods: oral, classroom, oral, actual field, and the field thing is going to be of assistance with the Terrebonne High School, which we got approval through the LHSAA, Lee Sanders, granting permission to the baseball team to assist us. There will be no live pitching, therefore no team versus team. It's all controlled scenarios. Coach Archilla will have the format in which we'll conduct the training, but it wouldn't be possible unless we had participation from his team and the use of his facilities. And so the intent obviously here is to present all this to you for consideration.
Are these persons, referees being trained, they're not just from Terrebonne Parish, they come from the state?
They'll be statewide, yes ma'am. So locally, starting November through January, there'll be 4 similar camps, certification camps to these. Instructors will be college level, SEC level umpires, some high school certified umpires as well that'll be doing the presenting.
Thank you. Mr. Voisin?
That was my question, to say the location. So you see there's 4 camps. So we're just hosting one, and others will be in other locations in the state?
Yes, sir, sorry.
Okay.
We're kind of, as you know, landlocked between Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Hammond, New Orleans. Based on people's work schedules, availability, these camps are being made known to everybody statewide to accommodate their schedule, family times, other considerations, is why they allow multiple camps in multiple locations at different dates. Okay. So if you need it, I can get you those dates. New Orleans is November 15th. Lafayette is going to be in January. Alexandria and Shreveport are going to be, I believe, February. But it's all in that time from right before the season starts.
And all the camps are just repeating the certifications. Like you don't have to go to 4, you just make one.
One time, yes,
Right.
sir.
I'm glad we can accommodate you guys.
It's greatly appreciated. Try to work smart instead of hard. Instead of having 30 people, we have roughly 51 officials in the association. 35 require a camp, but we don't know what we're going to get from Hammond, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, elsewhere. So the numbers could be high. But the monies that we're raising will pay the janitorial fees, feeding officials, whoever's on site. The state requirement of we pay $15 per camp attendee. So it's not to make money, but to cover expenses, of course.
Right. Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wazan.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other board members? Mr. Ford?
How you doing, Mr.
Hey,
Ed?
how you, Mr. Ford?
So, I guess you kind of answered my question. I wasn't sure if it was a requirement for you guys to pay for the custodial staff. I mean, I think this is an opportunity for us to show accommodation to the Thibodeau Association. So, I would even be willing to waive the fees for the custodial, because I don't think we have custodians that actually work on Saturdays at the stadium. Julio and his crew does everything there. So, I mean, I don't know if that's even going to be an expense, but I'm just wondering if that's something that we could do in good faith, or if it's mandatory that y'all pay.
Mr. Ford, from the year before, there was a gentleman, I don't remember his name, very, very helpful. We did use the gymnasium for training.
The South
We
Down gym?
had a pitching machine, and the best that I can describe this training device would almost be like the strike zone you see on TV. So guys are getting behind this training aid, and they're seeing live pitching, going to the bullpen, and then getting on the field. So there was classroom, then, mechanics training in the classroom with the use of that pitching aid and training machine, pitching machine. But the gentleman was present.
Okay.
We have to have somebody just to be there, so if we waive it, we gotta assume the cost, so. It's a Saturday, it's gonna be a Saturday? Eddie?
It's a
Yes, sir.
Saturday, November 15th is
So,
Saturday.
It's gonna be, at least one person. That's the-
I know last year, I don't want to misspeak or the terms, there was a fee, I think there was 2 fees we paid, right? One was waived, I believe. So, yeah, look, we understand you guys are, helping us out. We want to do our fair part, just part, just, in order to accomplish this training. Yeah, look, after this, I'm gonna go see Dr. Bud after this.
You gotta have with Patterson, a couple times this year, so I'm just,
Any other board members? Sir, that was a very kind suggestion. If you'd like to amend this on a full board day, you're welcome to do so. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, have a good
Do
evening.
we have any,
Go to the umpire right now.
Expected to do that.
any objections? None heard, so ordered.
Yeah.
Item number 3. Security fencing around Schriever Elementary School. The board recommends that the board approve the issuance of a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Sheramy and Bruce Architects for plans and specifications for the security fencing project at Schriever Elementary School. Establish a budget in the amount of $157,307, funds to be derived from the building fund. Authorize the advertising for bids, direct that any major project changes be reported to the Building, Food Service, and Transportation Committee prior to advertising for bids, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
By Mr. Voisin, second by myself. Any public comment? Ms. Dugan.
Mr. Ojon asked me to put this slideshow together. There is a separate slide for each agenda topic. So this one is specific to Schriever Elementary's fencing project. So this shows the layout of the fencing project. If you have any specific questions, Mr. Daniel's also here.
Kim?
The only comment I have is, we see the green, that's where the fencing is proposed.
Yes.
And of course, where the green stops, there's already an existing fence
Yes,
there.
sir.
That's why we don't see the green
Yes, sir, good point.
there.
Yes, sir.
And, that top building is for the littlest children, and, we had one that is kind of quick, so I'm very grateful that we were able to put up
Yes.
this connection.
Mr. Voisin.
No, ma'am.
Any other board members? Any objections? None heard, so ordered.
No, Ki-
Item number 4, don't go far, Ms. Dugan. What's that?
If I could go back, just make a comment, because I agree, it's a lot, but what we don't see are the panic bar apparatus
Okay, that's more to it
components of
than
this
just the
fence. There's a
fence.
lot of push gates that all drive the cost up. It is 7-foot fence, so it's got height to it, and there's a lot of footage. But I think the biggest cost are these push bar deals with the grills on the sides that you can't reach around and push them yourself from the outside, so it adds a lot of cost, particularly when they're gonna be boring. A lot of this is cement here, so they're gonna be boring posts into all this, so that we can keep kids away from the bus circle where the buses are traveling.
Thanks for explaining
And,
that.
and this is also including the architect and engineering fees and contingency and stuff like that. So that's also included in that budget.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next item is also security vestibule, is a notice to proceed for the security vestibule at Acadian. Committee recommends that the board approve the issuance of a notice to proceed as per contractual agreement to Jeremy Bruce and Bruce Architects for plans and specification for the security vestibule project at Acadian Elementary School. Establish a budget of $369,717. Funds to be derived from the building fund. Authorize the advertising of bids. Direct that any major project changes be reported to the Buildings, Food Service, and Transportation Committee prior to advertising of bids, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Voisin, second by myself. Any public comment? Mr. Voisin.
Let's let her explain that one too, I guess.
Again, the estimated
Yeah.
construction budget also includes architect and engineering fees and contingency. This is just a tentative schedule. It could, it could change.
It could be less. than
It
that.
could be, yeah.
a lot less. It's just a budget
Absolutely.
amount.
The
On the
estimated
high
budget
end,
is,
budget,
and,
but it
yeah,
can be much less.
on the higher, what he said.
Can I explain, just to kind of tell you kind of what we're doing here?
Yes, sir.
Is that all right?
That's up to her.
So, this line here is gonna be like a ballistic rated glass, the majority of that wall. The receptionist is gonna be behind here, this is all gonna be locked. Again, this is very thin glass, so that has to be all reinforced the way it is now. So that's a lot of the cost there. Buzz-in systems on that far hallway wall, and then over here, we're just closing in a doorway. It's not a whole wall, but there's a large door that we're gonna close in. And there's a lot of teachers at this school. We have a lot of kids, with Honduras kids coming over last year. So they're trying to alleviate as many teachers having to come through the front to kind of swipe in. It's a huge faculty with close to 800 kids. So they're trying to put a swipe in on each end so that teachers on that hall and on that hall can easily come in with a card reader like we have here in the building, pass a card, swipe in there, and then go to their building. So that's kind of what that is. That's an added cost. It's not just a easy thing to do. So that's kind of what you see in this whole project here.
Mr. Ogeron, is
Yes,
this,
ma'am.
construction gonna happen during the time the kids are in school? Is that gonna affect them any?
It will, and I'm not sure if Daniel can speak to that, if Daniel's here, but I'm not sure the logistics of that, Daniel.
Good evening. We have spoken to the principal. The way this project currently is estimated, when we said, so we want to get board approval March the 3rd. We can probably try to do the majority of the work during the summer of 2026. But the principal, this was a bigger project at one point in time, she was going to be able to accommodate them having to work in the existing lobby. If she had to, she would move her staff over to the cafeteria side and kind of do some temporary stuff if she had to. But I would think that for the most part, we're going to try to get the majority of the work done during the summer. We got to get it out, get it on the market, get it bid so they can get all their materials in leading into summertime.
Daniel, can you and Ally explain why such a gap or a lag in when we're going to bid? Because, so you want to speak to that, Ally?
Like why we waiting till January?
Yeah, is this the same factor as the other ones with contractors, or not necessarily? Okay.
We're trying to get out of a couple things. November, December are historically
Okay.
not good times for bidding market, everybody's, things are closed, things are shut down.
Okay.
Things, Christmas holidays, Thanksgiving holidays, so we're trying to leap over the holiday season, come out right at the beginning of the year, put it out to bid, and get it going. So we could try to advance that a little bit if we wanted to, but we're already mid-September.
Okay.
So if we got it out in October, we would be gaining about 90 days. Again, still the thought being that we would try to get a lot of the work done during the summertime and try to minimize the impact on the educational progress of the students.
Thank you. Mr. Wazza, you had anything else? Any other board members? Mr. Carves?
Yes, ma'am. So, this is for, Acadian. How many do we have left?
I have to check quite a few.
Still quite a
So
few?
Every school has single point entry where we have a buzz in, but not the vestibule built like this one's gonna be built. So we have quite a few left to go.
Okay.
And we have a list of, an ordered list of where we're going next.
And the plan is still to add a vestibule to pretty much every school in the district?
And some of it is being covered by the new construction, like the two elementary schools and the middle school and
Ellender
Ellender.
and
Those are
South
being taken,
Terrebonne, yeah,
yeah,
that's fine.
those are being taken.
Any other comments? Any objections? None heard, so ordered.
Thank you.
Item number 5, Terrebonne High School softball field. The committee recommends that the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications for the Terrebonne High School softball field at Homer Junior High, Phase 2 from Thompson Construction Company Incorporated. Total budget in the amount of $557, $989. Funds to be derived from the building fund, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Voisin, second by myself. Any public comment? Mr. Dugas?
So these are photos of South Terrebonne High School softball field. Terrebonne is gonna be very similar to South Terrebonne and Ellender's. So we wanted to provide some photos so you'll see what they're getting, because it does seem like a high cost, but whenever you add up, our few phases that we put together for Terrebonne so far, it is around the same cost as South Terrebonne and Ellender's. So they'll be getting a new press box, which is
That's this one
two-story.
here?
Yep, this
Press
one
box.
right here. It's two-story with
Yeah.
this storage underneath it, and they'll have galvanized steel stairs. And there is a window unit in there, so it will be cool in there. There is a concession stand, and the layout will be a little bit different just based on the location of the dugouts at Terrebonne High softball field. But this one will also have a mini split in it, and it'll have a 3-compartment sink, mop sink with cabinet storage, and that's this right here. This is the concession stand.
And that's a Board of Health thing. We cannot do it without having all those
Yes.
pieces.
Absolutely. They'll have 2-lane batting cages right here, and there will also be new sidewalks, pavement, concrete. Do you guys have any?
Bleachers.
Bleachers, yes. And the bleachers should fit about 100 to 111 people. It's like a 6-row set of bleachers.
Mr. Voisin?
Again, it looks expensive, but you explained that the other schools cost about the same.
About the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's,
Spot on.
yeah, so it's just what it is. Can we get Terrebonne's to be green too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think that's a
Yeah,
great
right.
idea.
Yeah, right.
Let's start some trouble. That's all
Someone
I
actually
got.
asked me that. I've been asked for that already. If we can paint it green.
Mr. Ford?
I gotta be stupid.
Benoit doesn't like the colors at all,
I don't. I like to be very neutral.
So, just doing my part as a representative of District 3, and in particular the H.L. Bourgeois, family, how, do we have plans for those fields? I guess this is more of a question for Bubba than anything, because I know the H.L. Bourgeois girls softball and baseball for that matter, it's somewhat antiquated. I know baseball got some renovations last year, by default from the storm. But do we have anything?
Nothing
in the
planned, but we
works?
can have some discussion on it.
Yeah, definitely something I'd like to, I'm sure the community would like to see that. Thank you.
Any other board members? Any objections?
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Tasper Thud.
What about restroom facilities? Are they close to this softball field? Where will people go?
I believe they'll be using the Houma Junior High gym.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little walk, but they're gonna use the Houma Junior High area, there's some set-asides. Or, we've done portalettes, you know. Every school we have, for the most part, it's a walk. South Terrebonne, you've gotta walk from the field all the way to the football concession area. That's a good hike. I mean, Bourgeois is the same thing. You've gotta walk, quite a ways. We just don't have the facilities, so this would be the same thing, it's be a walk.
Be a walk,
Be
okay.
a little walk.
Well, I was just
Yep.
wondering how that was set up.
Probably the best setup we have is Terrebonne baseball, because they walk from the field underneath the stadium where the
Yeah,
restrooms were for the football stadium.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Klucek. Any other board members? Any objections? None heard at all. Item number 6, South Terrebonne Modular Classroom Building. The committee recommends the board approve and accept the lowest bid received, meeting all specifications for the South Terrebonne High School Modular Classroom Building Site Work Project from Thompson Construction Company Incorporated, Post Office Box 187, Thibodaux, Louisiana, 70302, in the amount of $548,000, and accept the alternate in the amount of $23,000 to add adjoining canopy to connect the entire walkway. Establish a total budget in the amount of $619,515, funds to be derived from the building fund, and further authorize the board president or superintendent to sign all necessary documents pertaining thereto. And I want to clarify something for this project, because when I first saw it, it kind of confused me. I said, aren't we just moving the kids back into the school and we need a more portable? This is the replacement of the portable in the backyard for special education students.
Yes, ma'am.
That was damaged with the storm. It has nothing to do with the modulars the kids are in now.
So Merlin, you can speak to this too, but there wasn't like a whole lot of storm damage, which is why it's not a FEMA project. It was just rusted out, dilapidated, and Adam, you probably, we just couldn't get storm coverage for FEMA, so we just felt the need because of the
We
condition.
forgive
it
Adam.
needed to
He's
get
done a lot of good for us.
Right,
But
Merlin?
Right,
as
yeah.
we've done through the whole parish, we've been upgrading
Yes,
and
ma'am.
modernizing
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
and making things right at our schools that should have been addressed long ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, as Mr. Orgeron said, these had very little storm damage. They didn't qualify for the 50% replacement, so, but they were in very bad shape prior to the storm, but they really held up well during the storm. It's amazing, so.
Probably protected by the.
Yeah, so they had four, I think it was four portables there previously on the side of the, we're on the, I guess, the northeast side of the auditorium, you know, back between there and the, so that's where they were before, that's where we replaced them now. The contractor, well, Thompson Construction, who was a low bidder, we had 6 or 7 bids. We had 6 bidders on it. Nine bidders came to the mandatory pre-bid conference. 6 of them turned in bids. So Thompson Construction, who's the general contractor on the main project right now, it was a low bidder on the project. They've got all their 10-day documents in. Everything is moving, progressing on that aspect. I spoke with them this afternoon. They're in talks with their modular supplier to get those documents together. Fire marshal has been already been dealing with the project from that aspect. They told me this afternoon that they anticipate, if everything keeps going like it's going, the end of November, beginning of December, these should be in place and occupiable. So it looks like it worked within the time frame.
We didn't move it. We need to move the recommendation. You forgot to move it, yeah. Move it in
Moved by
second.
Mr. Wozniak, second by myself. Thank you for catching that.
Yes, ma'am.
Any comments, any public comments? Any comments, Mr.
Well, my first year teaching, I was teaching in one of those portables, and so it was bad then. So, I mean, really, it must be bad. My question is, behind band and behind the locker building, there were portables there. Those are going to remain there?
They're being renovated completely. Yes, yeah.
So we're still
They're in the
gonna have-
yeah, they're still gonna have those 6. Yeah, there's 3 sets of doubles there. Here we have 1 set of double and 1 single. So, yeah, they're gonna still stay there. Right.
Merlin, you want to just show, because it is a special ed classroom, both sides of the module.
Yeah, the larger classroom, the 24 by 64 to the left is gonna be,
Plumbing and all
yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
gonna have handicapped ADA compliant restrooms in each one of those. And then the third one, the smaller one, is not gonna have that. I think that's more, I mean, it'll be used for drama, I believe, or
English
something like
class,
that,
yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Close to the stage is gonna be very
Right,
conducive to that.
Ideally, I mean, of course, it's a lot of money, but ideally where that's going, it would have been nice to add a building, like a two-story, 6 or 8 classroom there, so you can get rid of all of these portables.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not gonna take away from the look of the school, because it's behind the auditorium. So how much would that cost?
A two-story,
Throw a number out there.
two-story? How many classrooms you said?
About 6 at least.
6 or
Cover all
8?
those maybe 8, huh?
Eight classrooms, you're talking about 8,000 square feet probably, plus or minus with that, you know, at a
My,
300, you're talking about 2 to 3 million,
That's it, that's it. That's
probably.
Look, because we're spending $500,000 on the portables.
I would think, man, look, I'm just so quick, I mean, if you go on two-story, I mean,
Don't be holding you to
yeah,
that.
no, you know, probably, yeah, so.
my,
Can we go to the drawing board with that?
my wife makes really good cookies. We could have a bake sale.
I mean, is that a possibility, or is it, we're too far?
Well, we've kind of explored the things early on, and when we first started with the project, maybe in the courtyard area, but, you know, where the chiller is at and stuff like that, but, I mean, there's quite a bit of underground mechanical stuff and things in that area that, you know, it was very,
So the other thing we have to keep in mind is there's no place to put the special ed students that's gonna be compliant with restroom capabilities and our availabilities. We really, I think the thing we really want to see, could we not even put these buildings, fit everybody in the main building? Like, we explored that one thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like multiple times, and we kept getting the answer from staff at school, can't do it,
Yeah.
can't fit them. And a lot of it came down to restroom capabilities for ADA compliant children. So to say that there's no way around that, you know? There's ADA upstairs, but it presented some other issues, ADA restrooms upstairs. No space for classes. So you don't want kids going up and down that, or not
Right.
capable to do that easily for the restroom. So this just
Yeah.
made the most sense for those students.
Yeah.
Ms. Benwell.
So, I guess this is the first time I'm aware of this. I don't, it had been mentioned before, I just missed it or whatever, that we were gonna do modular.
Throughout the presentations we've talked about.
Well, I guess I missed that, but I mean, I felt like we have always said that we were gonna move away from portables and modulars and, you know, get it right. And, you're talking about bathrooms, well, why can't we build a bathroom if that's what they need on the first floor?
Yeah.
And,
Because there's no classroom on the
oh,
first floor.
okay, well, I understood
Yeah.
you meant that
But-
there was classroom space, but no bathrooms that were compliant. And, yeah, I guess I'm just disappointed that we have to do this modular. I wish there was another way to do this so that it's a permanent building, and it's not that. And we're not, it's not gonna be us, but it's gonna be another board facing this modular problem down the road. So, I don't like it.
That way you could get rid of all those portables behind band, too.
well,
You know, I don't.
It's, yeah.
It's
So
a-
you'd have, I don't, we'd have to have a lot of discussion, but
Yeah.
where do you have those classes? They're pretty full inside the building as is. There's
Right.
no space. You've got those kids that are gonna be in those classes outside. You'd have to have a whole nother
So you're saying. when we-
temporary setup.
when
to
you're
house a lot
opening
of
in
kids till this
January.
can be built. If we build a two-story
Yeah.
wing, that's a 2.5, 3-year process, more than likely, at best.
well, there's a lot of things
If
to
we
work
start
on.
today, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, we
that's
have to
3
have-
years. So you'd have
Yeah,
temporary
long run.
space for another 3 years.
that was my
and then-
concern, the time limitations and how
So,
long it would take to put.
What about rental? I mean, we did that
That's
already.
the rental was FEMA, right?
Yeah.
You pay for that, they're not gonna pay for it
No,
anymore.
no, I'm not asking FEMA to pay for it, but, I mean, let us pay for rental until we can actually build them a building.
Mr. Ford says he has a solution.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to comment, so, but it's along the lines of what Debbie's saying. We already have rentals on on site right now, what if we just extended the lease on a couple or a handful of those rentals and we plan to build? Because let me tell you, I'm gonna, this may sound a little long-winded, but I'm gonna tell you, 20 years ago, the year of Katrina, 2005, 2006, I was the first significant disabilities teacher at Oaklawn. It was the first year they ever had significant disabilities. And we were an afterthought. And we knew we were an afterthought because a week before school started, they were scrambling for a place for us to go. This was the first year they ever had that. They didn't know what to do with those kids. And it was a struggle. Fast forward, 17 years later, I was teaching significant disabilities at Thibodeau High. We were an afterthought. We changed classrooms 2 times during the summer before we even got into the school year. And I just feel like Debbie said, if we're planning ahead, and we've talked so many times about not doing portables, I think they would be okay with waiting and doing these rentals for a year or 2, maybe even 3 if need be, to where we can build on site a permanent home for those kids. We're already locked into a contract with the rentals we have. It may be something that I'm sure they would be happy to oblige us and give us a good rate for the next 3 years until we got this project finished. But it's on our dime anyway, so why not plan ahead and put it on our agenda to do that? And I think it would show that those kids, and not just those kids, but those teachers and paras and that whole department do mean just as much to us as the regular ed kids do. So I think it's something we should consider.
Now, it would be, again, special ed, but you still have regular ed, like maybe upstairs or something.
So,
Comment as well, and I agree with Matt, with Debbie. You're gonna have to pull out the existing buildings that are in there, totally get them out of there.
They're going already. That was already done.
They're already gone,
Yeah.
okay. So, my point is when you put a new modular building in, the expiration starts going really fast. It doesn't take very long before that modular building already looks out of date. It may still be, you know, a place out of the rain, but it's already looking old in the back of the building that we're redoing. And, you know, I do like the idea of possibly renting a couple of those, and we're spending, you know, $600,000. $600,000, could we build 3 regular classrooms for $600,000 with 2 of them with bathrooms in them? Because at least that would be those 3 that we wouldn't have to have modular buildings for. So, and even if it was just 1 story, you know, because all we're talking about is just putting 1-story modular buildings back there. But for $600,000, it seems like we could just about put a you know, brick and mortar back there. And again, without affecting the ambiance of the school, because it's in the back and that location already, so using that same location. But, you know, come up with a plan or a dollar figure, not off the top of your head like you just did for the other, but, you know, to see what it would cost to do brick and mortar on that back side. So that's just my thought on that as well.
can I make a comment on that? So, I think it's a great idea, I do. I don't agree with 2 million. I think it's be way more than that, but that's just.
Yeah, I mean,
my
if we, yeah,
non-professional, whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
Inexperience.
eight,
I'm looking at what
yeah.
that stuff costs. If that's 600, doing a wing,
yeah.
that's just my thinking.
Yeah.
So I think it really, how far do we want to go on costs? It comes down to that. We've already put a whole lot into the repair work of those other ones. Like they're when he said completely renovated, they've been gutted, interior, exterior. We kind of almost have a whole new rebuilt portables in the back. And that's kind of like, we didn't start that recently. That's been going on for a couple of years almost.
Yeah.
This has also been in the works for a long time. We're just trying to get kids in so that when they move into the school in January, they have a place to go. Without that, there's nowhere to put a lot of kids. And it's a lot of kids. It's not 5 or 6 kids. It's probably close to 20 students. It's a lot of kids. Why we need 2 classrooms. the FEMA money is gonna run out. Obviously, they're not gonna pay for any more rentals. I don't know if we'd have to get a whole nother set, if you could work out something where you keep a fourth or one modular in the front yard. Do we wanna do that for another 3 years? Leave that like that? I don't know what the rules are on excavating all the stuff. Do we leave just underneath that one building? There's a lot of work that has to go into any kind of decision we make beyond what we have tonight. If we don't, I'm just gonna throw this out there, if we don't do this now, if we don't approve it tonight, I'm asking that we can put it back on the agenda if we can't give you some solid answers by the board meeting. Put it on the agenda in October.
At least explore what,
Give us a couple weeks to
three
explore.
classrooms, not,
can-
not all of them,
Okay.
but just these are 3 classrooms, explore what the cost of 3
Okay,
classrooms
all
would
right.
be.
And the other thing too, and I don't know, Merlin, you may know a whole lot, Adam, you may know, do we have to go up, or can we put something ground floor? I
Well,
don't know.
well, when you say ground, it is single story, but the flood map is, we're right outside, when you look at the flood map on the website, and they determine where it actually falls with coordinates and all that, but we're right outside of it. But it doesn't affect the portables, because when you put the slab and then you put them on their piers like they have to be, it actually puts you above the required elevation. And I want to say the required elevation with the new flood map here is like I think it's a 7 or 8 in that range, somewhere around there. So, and the elevation of the ground is around a 6. So I think it was an 8. But with this elevation, with the way they got to set it up, we're going to be at a 9. So we're already going to be a foot higher than what was required. So we meet the flood maps with this. So what you'd have to do with brick and mortar construction is you'd have to get that finished floor, the first floor elevation to that elevation, which would still require some ramps and things like that of that sort to
Yeah.
get up. So you couldn't build it at the same ground level elevation that the school is at right now, is what I'm getting at.
Have to go up a little bit.
You have to go up, I think, either 1.5 feet or 2 foot higher than existing, correct?
But the thing is if this is $600,000 now, 15 years from now, it's gonna be $16 million for 3 more, portables. And so, whereas if we invest the money now, 15 years from now, we won't be talking about having to redo it again, you know, because it'll be done. So, just my thought on it anyway.
I haven't. May I have
Ms.
another-
Benoit.
Yeah, another question. So if we cap several portables that we have right now, would that be usable for these students, these 20 students that you're talking about? Like, if we had a couple of more portables, they could go into there, they have a ADA bathroom in those portables?
No, they don't.
The ones in the back?
They don't. No, none of them have restrooms in them.
So what do they do with that?
Yeah.
No, the ones, the kids who are taking like the art classes and all that stuff, they're just going there for one class and coming back to the main building. So, but
So where are they
Um,
going to the restroom now?
the special ed children?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they're in a modular with a restroom that they can access.
And this is the modular you want to redo, the one they're in?
No, they're in a FEMA rented modular in the front yard of South Terrebonne right now.
Okay, but can't we keep that one and continue to rent that?
Perhaps, I don't know that.
Yeah, I think that we ought to explore that, and the other thing is, I'm thinking, if it takes 3 years before we get around to building brick and mortar, we don't know what the student population is gonna be at South Terrebonne in 3 years. It may dwindle. It may be that there'll be some classrooms available
But
to
I think the
absorb
process
those
hasn't been
kids.
started to build the wing, though, that's the thing. It's gonna already be in the works, even if the population would decline.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying change anything at this point. I'm just saying there may be some empty classrooms at 3 years down the road, you know, where that won't need to be utilized by the high school students.
Okay.
And there may be some empty space there at that time. I don't know, it's just a guess, but it gives us some time to think about this brick and mortar opportunity, which I think is important.
Anyone else?
Yeah, just, I mean, of course, we're at the point where the best thing right now is just to get it done so that in January, everybody starts. I mean, that's what we look at. But I think in the long run, if you were to put a permanent structure there, And, and I agree with everybody what they're saying, but I'd like to see something two-story, maybe 6 to 8 classrooms. Again, having 2 for special ed and getting rid of those portables, just having no more portables that we have behind the band and the locker room. You know, but you can keep those portables while we open in January, keep those 2 portable AD,
FEMA.
the FEMA portables, until this is built.
But I don't know because I wasn't involved with the modules in the front. When you say, Ms. Ogeron, where they're at, is it one set of portables or is it just like a whole modular building that was put together?
Daniel can speak to this. Daniel, it's
Yeah.
what, 6 of them, 6 different ones that are connected? Yeah,
Yeah, the ones in the front yard.
front yard. Daniel's our architect on the modules
Yeah.
in the front yard, so that's why he's coming. 6 or 8, I'm not sure.
6 or 8 classrooms per building, right? Yeah, that's what I
No,
thought.
there's like 12 classrooms in one building.
Oh, 12 classrooms, so you'd have to
12.
keep a whole.
You probably have to
unit.
keep a whole one.
I'm not sure on the, because those are on the lease for South Terrebonne. I don't know about extending the lease and the FEMA implications or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know that. We'd have to explore that.
We would have to pay for that. FEMA
Well,
would
we know we'd have to pay for it, that's
Yeah.
for sure. The question is, will they kind of break the existing contract, let us keep it on site, and just switch it over to another funding source? That's what we
Right.
don't know.
Right.
We'd have to explore that and see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, because at some point in time, we have to, take apart all the canopies and
See, that's another thing too.
start fooling with all of that too, come probably January, February of next year, once the students are able to move back into
Yeah.
the main building.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Is that a
moving
fair
parts.
Yeah.
ask, is to
Yeah.
come back in October with answers and decide we're gonna put this back on as an item, if we don't approve it tonight?
want to ask if we want to sell them to us cheap.
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest that myself. Maybe they'll be willing to, they're used.
And then what do we do?
Well,
Yeah, they just go, FEMA
Maybe they'll sell
throws things away.
Perhaps.
Yeah, when you say sell them, understand it's like 6 or 8 or 10 classrooms to a unit. So it's not like you're getting just 3 classrooms, you'll be getting a whole, because if you can't dismantle and only keep 3 classrooms the way they're put together. So it would be one whole building, which was probably 6 or 8, 10 classrooms in that one building.
Which we could
That's the
use.
cost of the meter.
So.
I was about to say,
And then I'm not involved with that project.
That's not what we need on the interior. Can the interior simply be redesigned to what we do?
Oh, I think they could probably, I think they have restrooms in some of those things, whatever they utilize now. That's not the problem, but I don't know all of the logistics with FEMA and everything else that went on with that stuff and how it's gonna work or play out.
So, just one quick comment, and then I move on. So, you made a comment, Miss Debbie, about we don't really know what the population of South Terrebonne would be in 2 or 3 years. And I don't know either, but are the trends steady? Are they moving down? Do we know, Mr. Superintendent?
Trends are moving down.
Okay, and so my
But-
point.
But, I'm sorry, sir, but it's, so it's everywhere else. It's not necessarily like a
Right,
body
and so
thing.
I guess what I'm saying, Ms. Benoit, is that the point that you made actually, in my thoughts, would be an argument against a brick and mortar building. And
Well, we may
for
not need it at
the
that point,
modules.
but right now, we think we need it, but.
Right, but what I'm saying is if we're expecting trends to go down and then, we spend millions of dollars putting brick and mortar buildings and then we don't need them and we can use empty buildings, it's a stronger argument for the modulars at this point, is the way I see it.
No, my point is that we may not need any extra building because there may be space in the current brick and mortar that they're building right now.
Yeah.
If the population.
I think the best thing right now is to, like we said, just let's examine
And then
everything.
come back in October,
and
yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. So what do we do with this?
So,
I don't know. So what do we do with this recommendation?
Table it.
Ramona?
Table
Did you want to say something?
Y'all are done, to the FEMA side of it.
Any questions for Adam, anybody? You have anything to add, Adam, to the conversation? Please do.
The only thing is once the construction ends for South Terrebonne, which is December FEMA gonna want that project to end, the temporary campus, you can't extend it because it's only tied to that. FEMA's money has nothing to do with these portables, so you holding it is not gonna be worth it. And then it comes to the buy. If FEMA put money into the, I guess, rental, and you just decide to buy it, you're gonna have to pay FEMA back the depreciation of that value because they put money into the already depreciated version. And we looked at buying versus leasing. One of these modular buildings is $1 million, these 12. So if you go to buy it or rent it, it's going to be just as much you are here from that point. 'Cause we've had looked at it because such a large modular building, and cause it's the lease versus cost, and that's why we were able to get it leased and not buying them. Because once you sell it again, if you ever decide to sell it after, you still have to once again pay FEMA back for what they've already put into it. Because they would have already contributed to the value of this.
But what about just continuing the lease?
Well, then you can't continue the lease.
Not with them, but,
Well, but then you're ending the lease with them, so you're now starting a new contract now with the
right.
person, and I think it's like every month is 100, so you're probably looking at $30,000-$40,000 a month. So for 3 years, that's your cost for what the cost would be here. So that's just what we are from the rent side of the FEMA side of that, just to give you some more clarity on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So are we taking?
Can you table it now or not?
Do we move, do I have a motion to table it?
If we can bring it back October 7th at the board meeting, can we do that?
No, we have to pass to go to October 7th, but we can still discuss it at that time, too.
Yeah, you pass it in the committee.
Yeah.
We can pass it now and amend it on the full board.
Okay.
member.
Yeah.
Let me just,
Substitute motion.
let me just make a couple comments, what, about, we're not just getting 2 modulars for this money, you know, there's a lot of canopies, ramps, and things like that that are in this cost, along, the modulars, I think, don't quote me, but on some of the bids that the contractors got, because we had talked to the modular people before, was like in the $250,000 to $300,000 range for all 3 of them, okay? Everything else was site work related with concrete and ramps and canopies and things of that sort. So the modulars themselves, that's what the numbers I was told were like between $250,000 and $300,000, depending which one they went with. So
So if we go ahead and pass it in committee tonight, it's
We can
on the
always-
agenda, and we can do an alternate amendment or substitute
If we
motion, whatever we
choose to,
decide
yeah.
to do
Just
on
vote it down.
on the October
Yeah.
Put it
7th.
down and we go
Yeah, that's fine. That's
So
just
any
fine.
objections?
October committee meeting.
All right, none heard, so ordered.
thank you, ma'am.
Item number 7,
That was a tough one.
matter bearing on substantial completion to the Evergreen Junior High Hurricane Ida Repair
Didn't mean to
Project,
start any
Phase
trouble,
2,
but-
as of September 10th, 2025.
I think it's too much money.
Mr. Vickery.
We just gotta see if we can do it,
Good evening, everyone. Our team visited the buildings last week with Miss Alley and Mr. Sammy. For the most part, everything looked to be in order. We came up with a small punch list that we've attached to the substantial completion. They'll have 45 days to get that corrected, and then the project will be completed, but we recommend substantial completion.
Any questions for Mr. Vickery? Mr. Wazam?
That's evergreen, yeah.
Yeah, that's pictures of the finished work.
You can see the beautiful choir risers, very
That's
well
nice.
refinished
gorgeous.
and fixed up all the windows we had already.
Especially on the band building and the shop buildings, we did a lot more than just the storm recovery. We replaced all the doors and windows, so it's a substantial improvement.
Looks good.
Any other board members? No? Thank you, Mr. Vickery.
Thanks.
Item number 8, matter bearing on substantial completion for the H.L. Bourgeois High School competition gym renovations as of August 14th, 2025. Ms. Duba.
So these are some before and after pictures of the HLB gym renovation project. Oh, you had a question?
It's- yeah.
We're still waiting on the banners. Those have been ordered and those will be installed. There are also some doors that need to be painted. you have any questions?
Well, just one comment. When we finished up the new gym at South Terrebonne, we had to go 9 yards to get a flag up. Please make sure one gets put up in there before we open up the doors.
I'll write that down.
One comment.
Mr., excuse me, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Ford.
I'll take care of the flag. I'll make a
Okay.
call tonight, it'll get put out there. But I do want to say this. Yes, the South Terrebonne Gym, when it was remodeled, renovated, it was a beautiful facility. It still is. It's the best one in the area until today. H.L. Bourgeois already had what was well known between coaches in the Tri-Parish area as the best gym in the area, in the region. And now it's surpassed what it was in the past. And I have history with that gym. So when I walked in there after it was remodeled, painted, the floors were done, I got the warm and fuzzies because, I have a lot of memories in that gym from where it was, what it looked like on top. And I'm very pleased at what we have now. So this is state of the art, and it's the best gym in the area. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Any other board members?
I have a comment.
Dr. Kosher?
I just want to tell you that the pictures that you've been showing tonight and all of these are excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I
This
took them on
adds
an
a lot.
iPhone.
Huh?
I took them on my iPhone.
Well, you've got a good phone. It takes
Thank
nothing.
you.
Really, a picture worth 1,000 words sort of thing. But very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dugo. Item number 9, matter bearing upon substantial completion for Ellender Memorial High School Hurricane Ida building site demolition as of September 5th, 2025. Ms. Dugo, are you still up?
I'm still up.
Okay.
A few of our architects couldn't be here
Any
today.
comments, Mr. Voisin? Ms. Dugo?
Alrighty, so this is a picture of the site for Ellender. We will be getting about a $62,000 credit for unused costs. This was from the architect had asked all of the contractors when bidding to put in certain amounts for like the energy to disconnect the existing building, and there was a cost for consolidated government utilities. So only $63,000 of that was used, so we will be getting a credit back. He said pending weather, they should finish the punch list items within 10 to 15 days, and the most important of the punch list items was fine grading the elevated field pad. And he wanted to note that the new design and square footage information was submitted to FEMA, so once we get some kind of comments on that, he's gonna proceed further with the design of the new school.
Any idea on FEMA response this year?
They, last I heard, we sent it, they had it back up, but this week they said they should get us something, so to me that means probably next week I'll hear something. They said midweek, this week.
Nice.
Any other board members? Thank you, Mr. Wood.
You're welcome. And while Gary comes up, I'll put these pictures.
That's our next one. Mr. Beard with South Terrebonne.
How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. And so is South Terrebonne, looks like.
Yes, yes. So, as you can see in these pictures, the exterior canopy areas are about 98% complete. They've got to do one last little section and then do the section where the chilled water pipes are running underneath.
That's center, upper center?
Yes, sir.
That's what he's talking about, that, it's a decking on the bottom of the yeah.
The windows are still sitting around 98% complete, minus the side and on the gym where they're bringing in material for the second floor. You can see in that picture, they've got the different color metals that's going to be cleaned and painted so that everything is the same color. The auditorium, that picture is one where before they've started installing the new sound panels. The sound panels are approximately 85% complete on installation as of this afternoon. The bottom corridor picture is the second floor, and they have actually started installing the flooring on the corridors. They're about 35% complete with the second floor corridor flooring. You have on the bottom right, you have one of the science labs. That one is minus final clean and a few touch-ups. Flooring's in, casework's in, the connections are in for the gas, water, everything. So that's progressing as we've hoped. And then on the top right, that is the new security vestibule that's, under Daniel's purview. But that one is progressing exactly how we need it so that we can open the school in December. So,
I'm glad to see that the auditorium is progressing the way it is. I was not expecting for that to be that far along right now.
It was a disaster, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing.
but that goes into the coordination efforts by Thompson Construction, the crews that came in that did all the work.
So that will leave us only with the old gym, in the gym that's in the building.
And they're working on that.
They're working on that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. That is very pleasing to my ears. Thank you.
What not pictured here is the kitchen. The hood has been installed and was inspected by the state fire marshal, which allows Thompson to come in and start installing the ceiling grid in the kitchen. And then the cafeteria ceiling grid has been installed, ceiling tiles have been installed, lights are installed. They've got to come in and do the flooring. And within another probably 4 to 6 weeks, they're going to be coming in to start work on the terrazzo repairs and replacement in a couple of areas. So the
This
finishes,
floor in here is terrazzo, by the
okay.
way. It's just a poured floor that,
yeah,
so there's some chips
The
all over
stairs?
the place.
the stairs and in the kitchen where they had to cut out the flooring to do some repairs and redo replacements. But again, it's getting down to the point where aesthetics are coming into place, where you're starting to see more and more of the eye-catching, the eye-popping things.
The stage is rebuilt?
The stage, you can see on the bottom left picture, the butt out has been rebuilt. So that little extension area has been
Right.
rebuilt and put back in place. They're currently working with curtain people to get the curtains, to get the rigging, all that put back in.
So the auditorium and the gym that's connected will also be ready in December?
They're
Possibly?
possibly, yes.
Okay.
I know their main focus is
Getting in, yeah.
getting into this actual school.
And to that point, we can start school without having
Yeah,
those two spaces
absolutely. Right,
ready.
But Thompson is pushing on all fronts to get everything at one time.
Okay,
Thank you. Mr. Wilson,
that's good.
any other board members? Great job, sir, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Item 11, matter bearing upon update of local construction projects, various architects or engineers. Is anyone in house?
Dr. Tron, can I,
Ms. Shelley?
Dr. Tron, can I,
Oh, Ms.
going,
Shelley.
going back to the previous previous item, thank Merlin too for all the work you're doing on South Terrebonne as well. I mean, you don't speak to it, Gary speaks to it, but appreciate all that you're doing with Thompson, working, coordinating and all that.
Indeed.
So thank you.
Is that
I'm
it?
sorry. Yes, ma'am, that's it.
Ms. Shelley?
And we still have education.
Good evening, board members. I also think South Terrebonne High School renovation's looking good. Excited for the children. I just wanted to give you a brief update on South Terrebonne Middle School. All pile driving is complete, and about half of the concrete piles are poured. Just to kind of give you an FYI, pile caps are those thick concrete pads that are about 2 feet deep, 6 by 6, that sit on top of a group of piles to hold them together and just distribute the structural load evenly across all the piles. I just wanted to kind of give you a briefing. It's kind of a step. For a long time, the site basically looks like the image that you saw for Ellender, demolition, right? Just a bunch of dirt, but we're getting there. We're making headway finally with the dry weather, of course. Once those are completely poured, they can start forming up for the grade beams supporting the building slab. While they are pouring the remaining caps, the plumbing subcontractor has begun running his underground lines. And if all goes well, we should see a complete concrete foundation by the end of November. At the same time, they're installing the subsurface drainage and regrading around the front parking lot, which is closer to the highway. I'd say they're about 35% complete with earthwork and about 30% complete with drainage scope. The electrician is working on getting temporary power to set up, which hopefully will lead to the installation of the temporary job trailer. As of right now, we're borrowing South Terrebonne High School's one of the office spaces in the modular building. So as soon as we get temporary power up and running, we'll be able to get out of their hair and have our own space to meet at. The contractor is meeting with Entergy Thursday morning to review the game plan for running the main line, the transformer location, and the meter, and all that good stuff. Always need to get Entergy involved ASAP because they tend to take their time with things. As far as rain delays, the contractor documented 2 adverse rain delays in August. Our specifications accounted for 12, and there were 14 rainy days. So we made sure that in the specs, we recognize that August is one of the historically wet months. So right now, they have 23 total rain delay days accounted for. So they are somewhat behind schedule, not a whole lot, I would say about a month. And of course, with the drier months, hopefully upon us, we'll be able to play some catch up. And let's see, we're about 140 days in, our 600 days, so about 460 days to go. And I would say overall, we're about 9% complete total construction. No problems so far. Fingers crossed. Everything continues to go smooth for us.
Okay, so we're looking at December 2026. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, everything goes well. And so it's less than 2 years from breaking ground to a complete school. That's what we're saying?
The total was 600 days we account for, yes.
Okay. I'm just looking at, that's great.
Not counting our design work, which is about how long? 8 months?
Oh, at least, in dealing with FEMA, it's
Design months.
Okay.
took a fun
So,
time.
but that's great. I'm looking at Upper Little Caillou, Grand Caillou Elementary. That, if we starting breaking ground, is that design done? Or are we still working on design or? Because I think that's another reason the population is not, it's gonna drop in that Chauvin area, is because these people are tired of going, their little ones going all the way to,
Amen.
again, it's a complaint that's gonna happen over and over again. So, and we're not gonna get new people down there until that school is built. So, again, I know it's a FEMA thing, again.
Do you know what the construction days are for that?
She's got some.
You are good. I can't see that. So Upper Little Caillou.
So,
So she's got bid advertisement, bid columns.
Okay, I see.
Look how you advertisement, October 8th, bid November 6th.
Board approval December. And then substantial completion, so we're looking at like July of 2027. And Grand Caillou is on there too? or no?
Grand Kai's after that one.
Okay. So we have another, yeah, okay.
26, 27.
July
Yeah.
27.
Two school years, kind of.
It's just, yeah, looking at what you're saying from South Terrebonne Middle School, 2-year process. Just trying to figure out Upper Little Caillou when we started.
I'm not sure what the square footage is of Upper Little Caillou, but I can tell you that, South Terrebonne Middle School was about 82,300 square feet of conditioned space, plus we have, covered areas, breezeways, things of that sort. I think Upper Little Caillou and Grand Caillou Elementary is probably going to be substantially smaller than that, if I could imagine. And then as of right now, yeah, so that's 600 days for about 82,000 square feet. And then just to kind of bunk back to your brick and mortar, the South Terrebonne Middle School project was about $303 a square foot, just FYI. So his 2 million's pretty close, if not a little less.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, we'll
It
hold
was
you all
built
to that.
today the same way.
Let's get it started.
Thank you for that statement, Mr. Wozniak, because I agree that our people, they call me all the time.
Yeah, they're leaving.
I
the
talk
bayou
to
area.
them on a regular basis. They want to know a timeline, because they want to be back for their school. They left because they couldn't see their children being
Bus for that long.
on a bus for so long, every day, round trip, 45 minutes one way. It's, we know, for those pre-K and kindergarten kids, it's a long trip. And so I do expect, I'm not sure of a number, but we have some people coming back
Yeah,
when that school
thank you.
opens.
Yeah.
Anyone else about South Terrebonne Middle? Mr. Ford?
Just an additional comment about the population decrease. There's another factor that goes into it, and it does deal with FEMA, but it's not with these renovations, it's their flood maps. And there's a lot of families really feeling the effects of the new flood maps and the insurance requirements. Even those that were grandfathered in and they already had flood insurance, they're still having to pay, in some cases, double. And that community is a lot of older, elderly, retired people living on fixed income. So now they're having to make other accommodations. And young folks don't want to buy where they have to pay just as much in flood insurance as they're paying in a mortgage. So that's the problem. But of course, that's not something we can do from this panel, but maybe one day one of us will be able to have some input on that.
Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Ford. I did speak to my insurance company, the one I deal with, not with all insurance companies. But they said that what they go by is a 5-year window. If 5 years without any large natural disaster, then those policy premiums will start edging down. So in the 4 years that we've had since Ida, we've only had Francine, which was a Cat 2. So we're doing good. This is year 5, guys. So if we can get through to this time in the next year's season, those premiums, according to my insurance people, should start edging down. Now myself, I live on a slab in Chauvin, but of course my house is paid for, so I don't deal with flood insurance or insurance issues. I insure my place for what I want, because I'm not held to a mortgage or a finance company. But not everybody has that opportunity to do that. But,
I have a comment.
Mr. Cloutier.
Yeah, just as a point of interest that you brought that up, I was at a meeting with the Commissioner of Insurance for Louisiana, stating that there are some private insurance companies that are coming in with flood insurance for Louisiana now, that are coming in at a lower cost than what the federal flood insurance is. I don't know what they are, but they said, you can check with your independent insurance agent and ask what they have available, whereas there used to be only the federal policy. Now there's some private
That was
policies that are available.
That's
So-
very good information. Thank you, Dr. Cloutier.
Well,
Ms. Benoit.
can I just add to that? He said it's on the state website, the names of those companies that
Thank you.
are offering additional policies. It's not through the national flood policy like we all have been doing for years. It's 2 or 3 private companies that are coming in. They're listed on the website of the state insurance commissioner.
Any other board members on that topic? Any other contractors or architects in the room? No? Moving forward. Number 12, Mr. Sammy, maintenance updates. Excuse me, Mr. Poisson.
How do you top that presentation? Wasn't that great?
It was.
She did a great job with that.
Well, I did want to compliment Ally, I mean, for doing
I know
this.
it would
This
be a
is
delay.
awesome to have the visual along with all the data.
Yes.
It's
She did a good job with that.
awesome.
I'd just like to see it done.
Okay, from the team. Congratulations to the team.
Yeah, as y'all heard earlier, the Evergreen finally got done with the back. Band moved in. Of course, we started getting calls from parents. When can we use the band room? And, well, they just couldn't wait. And I think they went in today. They moved in, I believe, today. Oakshire, we still installing new air-conditioned units there. See, y'all got me looking at these pictures here. And
We like
y'all
to look
see
at the pictures, not you.
The bottom right is at Federal. We had that slab that we lost the building in the storm. We had to take it out, and we're going to make additional parking there. The top middle, that's lighting at South Terrebonne on the back of the school. I had got a couple of emails about that, and it was already in progress. Just so happened they got these put in. I tried to expedite it a little faster because of what we were doing there with the portables and everything, portable lighting. And Entergy came through and
Excellent.
got it pretty quick.
So that's permanent lighting now.
That's permanent lighting.
All right.
We're going to see how it works. If we need to add to it, we can, to give more lighting. But the lights on the end lights up the student parking, and all these lights coming down the street in the back lights that up.
Now, how difficult would it be to put lighting on the baseball field? Since we have that back there.
Nothing money can.
What?
Let's not get into that, right?
Then we gotta do bourgeois.
Yeah.
Yeah, is everybody?
Okay. All right. Because Matt is already like, huh? Yeah.
I just want to throw into a little thing. The schools have been looking real good grass-wise. Our grass cutter's been doing a good job. You pull up the schools, they look really nice. We gave them extra cuts to keep it up on certain months, but they're doing a good job. And about the Entergy thing, I'm going through the schools with them. We lost a lot of lights for the storm, and we're trying to get those back from what they owe us. Some of them just went away, and we're just trying to get them all back, get everything lit back up.
Any board members with
That's
questions
it.
for Mr. Puckett? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
There being no more business for the Buildings Committee, we are adjourned. And turn the floor to Education and Ms. Benmo.
Okay.